Okay guys, I'm just going to show you how I did the shrinking of your letters rather than a scaling. We'll show you how that works. So I've just got this. I need to download this first. I'll put it on my desktop so it's easy. There you go. I need to get it into here, into a temporary folder. You can have different projects here. But I've put this in my temporary folder. You can see I've got these here already, but I've renamed them. So I'll select upload. Select the file I want to bring in. We know it's on the desktop, and we know it's this one here. So I load this into Fusion. Takes a few seconds. Okay, so that's in. I need to click refresh. Okay, so where is it? Okay, it's here. Okay, so this is the file you guys have sent me. Okay, so that's what we've got. So first of all, I need to do is make a copy, because I want to be able to put the two parts together to make sure they actually fit. So I'm going to right click and select copy. Just press copy. That means I'll get two versions. So I'll rename this one bike, like this. So now I've got two parts essentially. So let's go in the first one first and just do what Barry did, and create an extrusion of 50 and a shell of with a 2mm outside. So essentially what Barry did is he right clicked here, extrude, just typed 50 on the keyboard and press enter. That gives me my extrusion of 50. And then right click this surface here, click shell on the keyboard, press 2 and enter, and that shells that out. I'm going to click here to turn the canvas off because I don't need to see that anymore. And that is the part really that Barry's printing. Just for Chris's sake here, what I'd do now is I could just right click this here and save as STL, which is the bit you'd need to import into your printer slicing software so you can actually print it. But we don't need to do that here, so I'm just going to click save, because I'm going to need that later. Okay, so we're now going to open up the second back part. Okay, so same again, except this time I'm going to extrude only by 12. 12 because I'm going to have a 2mm extrusion at the bottom for the front, if you like, or the back in this case, and then 10mm up for the sidewall. So I'm going to type 12 and press enter. Now before I shell on this one, what I need to do is I need to actually take 3mm off the outside. 3mm, because what we've already got here is we've got a 2mm part here. If I use the inspect key here and click on this line and then this line, this tells me I've got a 2mm distance here. So I've got 2mm to lose, plus I want 1mm free play all the way around the side. So if I go back to my other design here and go okay, so what I need to do, I want to get rid of this canvas. I don't like to see the canvas. I get rid of the canvas by clicking on the light bulb here. Right, so what we need to do is I need to right click here and use the press pull action here. Now I've got a new offset here, and the reason why I've done that is because if you just click up here and select modify and press pull, you don't get to see the new offset. And if I do that, I can't multi-select. If I do that, it'll turn to fillet, and I don't want to fillet, I want to press pull. So let's do that again. I'm going to right click actually on one surface and click press pull. Now I can make sure I've got new offset set. I can turn this one off, and I can highlight all the surfaces. Now I'm going to take 3mm off around the outside, and as you can see I've got all the objects selected. If I do a press pull now of -3, I'll also take -6 off the top and the bottom if you like, because they'll pull together. So what I need to do, two things I could have done. I guess I could have added the 6 on when I extruded it, so when I press pull it disappears, but that's not the right way to do it. If I select this edge now, you see it'll drop to 115, turn it round, take this edge, now it's 114. Now I've only got the edges around the outside, so I can go into this box here and I can type -3, and as you see it shrinks completely uniformly. Now this bit looks a bit weird, but don't worry, when I click OK it'll work it out. Okay, so if I click, I'll tell you what I'll do. What we'll do is we'll just change the colour of that. The reason I'm going to change the colour is I'm now going to overlay it into the original part so I can see it fits. So if I just right click here and click appearance, I'll use a powder coat, smooth paint, and drop that input up in there, and I'll drag it to here. And of course it's not quite my favourite colour, so I'll just double click this icon here and slide this down here and move the little pointer up there into more of an orange colour. And yeah, that's better. Done. I can close that now and I can save it. Okay, so what we need to do now is you need to make sure that this actually fits into the two parts. So I'll just kill these two, I don't need them anymore, and I've got a nice new part. I need to save. For what I'm going to do now, I need to save first. So I'll just save a temp ASB for assembled. Once I've done that, I can then start right clicking here and insert into current diagram. And I just click OK there, it's fine in the middle there. And I can right click this and insert into current diagram. And I'll just, I can probably use that, I could probably use that actually. Let me just, because that'll probably just, it's probably bang in the middle of exactly where I want it, because it's just the way it works, it's bang in the middle. But I'm going to show you another feature anyway. Undo key up here. And I'm going to right click this again and insert into design. This time I'm just going to drag that off to the side. Like that. Okay. So I've got both my parts now in my design. I'm going to use the assemble feature up here. Let me just get rid of this side partition because I'm only working on my laptop, not got much screen as it is. You know, you can click the home button up here to just get it in nice into perspective. If you get lost, if you go like, oh, where's my, you know, where's my bit? Where's it gone? I can't find it. There's always a home key up here, and that'll bring it back into play. So what I need to do is assemble this bit into this bit here. So if I click assemble and select a point, let's say, well that bit's going to slide into there. So if you think this bit here, this top bit, just there, would be in the top portion of, let me click home, I've got a bit lost, in the top portion of that part there, if it was slid on top, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to push that in there like that. And the only thing I need to do now is create my millimeter gap. So I can either type in here millimeter, I can zoom right in. If I don't zoom in, it'll jump in 10mm steps. If I zoom right in, I can get it to just do 1mm at a time. Click the home key again before I click OK, and now I should be able to go all the way around the part and make sure that it's shaped just how I want it. As you can see, there's a millimeter gap all the way around. Might be dope. There you have it. I can now use these light buttons here to take bits away if I don't need to see them while I'm working on the other design. This little joint sign here, I can turn this again off by clicking on the light bulb here. So there we have it, and that's the shrunken part. Now, we did discuss the field scaling. I'm just going to add this in now as an extra, just so you can see why it wouldn't work if I tried to scale it. So if I take this, if I make a copy of this one, like this, I'll just rename this bad scale. And if I open this, okay, so this is I just need to get rid of these two extrusions just so I'm back to the original sketch only. There you go, so I'm back to my sketch, and as we first imported it would have looked like this, and I went scale, I went extrude, and I went by 12, like that. Okay, and then I took the canvas off, and if I went highlight all that and modify, where's it gone? Where's the scale option? Right click, scale, lost it. Okay, modify. Scale, it's there. Right, okay, so modify scale. Okay, so modify scale, modify scale. First of all, it does it in 0.1, so I'd have to work out the length of this, the size of it, and then work out what ratio I need it to be to get 1 mil around the outside. I'm going to take a guess, because it'll be close enough for what I want to demonstrate. So I want to say, let's say it's 95% of the original size that I wanted to scale it to, and you saw it there, just compressed down. So that's fine, and then I could right click and do my shell and say, well, I want to. So it looks very similar now to what I had before. Let me do the appearance in orange so we can see exactly what the differences are, and double click this, slide that down there, over there, done. Okay, close and save. So what I'll do now is I'll go back to my temporary assembled design, and as you can see I've got my pad scale here, so I'll insert this into my current drawing now because I'm on the assembled version. Now if I just remember before when I didn't click OK, you see what's happened? It's not quite right, but just to prove that, I'll drag this across here like I did before. Okay, so I've got my two parts. Remember, this is the pad scale. Click my assemble, and we said that part there. Oops, click home, get myself back to where I need to be. We'll be lined up to that part there. Off it moves in, and I said that I needed to zoom in and bring myself up a millimetre there, like that. And if I click OK, let's see what's happened. So this part looks not too bad, although it's bad luck because I can see an overlap here. You can probably just see that. See, so it's took it off there, but it's not done that like it did when we did the press pull. And if you look, it's just completely, just not quite right. It's just not in the right thing. It's not because I've done it too small. If you like, maybe 95%, you might think, well, if I dragged it across there, then it would be more filling in here. But then this bit would still be too long because it's overlapping at this edge and that edge. So that's why you need to use the press pull function when you're doing things like this. Actually, Chris, you might have noticed that I've put that in the wrong way around, because that should be the opposite way, shouldn't it? Because I need that to be the other way around. So I'm glad we've done this test, because what I need to do is shell the other side of the letters. So I'll do that now before I post them on the WhatsApp group. When I say shell from the other side, is it worth me just running through that? I think it probably is. So I'll save that. I'll get my letters here. I'll take that off and put that on, because what you can see, I did on that one. I did it on the right side on that one. Okay, so the one I'm going to send Barry for printing, that is correct, because if I take that off, it's not shelled either side. Why is it not shelled either side? Why is that not shelled either side? That should be and they letter back. Okay, I'm going to sort that. I don't really want to keep you guys watching a video for no reason, but basically what I've done is I need to shell the correct side of that, so when it fits together, it's the right way around, because of